Welcome to the M2 podcast. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host right here, the one with the finger guns going on, is Mr. J.K. Heath, Kyle Heath. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is pretty much the show where we cover gaming industry related news, talking about esports and personality, new and upcoming games, technology, innovation, anything related to gaming, basically. And without further ado, Kyle, what have you been up to this last week?
This last week, what did I play? I'm trying to think about what I played. Oh, you already know I got Smite in.
Yeah, I was
Been
about to
back on that
ask. I'm like,
grind, bro. You already know.
I know you're playing Smite.
You already know I'm back on that Smite grind. Um, Doing that. Playing a little bit of that. I have. I don't know about much else. Of course, watching Last of Us. Got caught up. Episode
Oh yeah.
4. You already know. That was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, I think just a lot of like working and stuff. Really. A couple of the boys are in town, so spending some time with
Oh,
them. But you already know,
nice.
it's fun. Yeah, it's about like all I've really been doing this past week. Oh, not too much of an update for me. But what about you, Mike?
I'm just about the same. Last of Us was the big kicker for me. I went out of town, right? I went out to Atlanta, and I was there for about like 3 days. So I didn't get much gaming in because of that. But while I was out there, I had to watch The Last of Us on my tablet. So I streamed it from the tablet and stuff like that. And I'm trying not to give any. I'm not gonna give any spoilers away, but I thought there was an issue with my tablet for the longest time about like the audio kept dimming, if that makes sense. Like the volume felt like it was changing randomly, but it
Interesting.
worked with the episode, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
it's weird.
because there's a general theme of what's going on in that episode, and it becomes pretty obvious about it, like at the
Yeah.
end, when something happens, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense why there wasn't noise. Well, I thought that was genius from the tablet, right? I watched it again last night. And no, it was just my tablet. It wasn't even the show at all. The audio was completely fine in the actual TV series. So
Weird.
I was like, what a crazy coincidence that it was zoning out in particular moments where it mattered, like,
That's funny.
yeah.
Uh,
So it's kind of funny. Gaming wise, man, I'm doing the same thing. Like, I think right now I'm getting more into a little bit of retro gaming. So pulling out the old Xbox, the original Xbox before the 360. I'm trying to soft mod it, and it's pretty difficult because all our technology is like 20 years in the future. So it's like the compatibility isn't really backwards compatible. Trying to get that to work. Um, I got a couple of adapters where I'm actually gonna like try to stream it as well and just do some throwback stuff. Like pull out some old Xbox 360 games, old Xbox games, do a little bit of streaming here and there, maybe some recording, have a little bit of fun, and do some throwbacks until some good solid games start coming out where I can sit down and grind it out. Like,
do know. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
there's a good handful of games. I mean, one just dropped that we're going to be talking about that I really
yeah.
want to get into. There's a couple other ones like some of the PlayStation games are coming over to PC in the next couple of months. So I'm
Yeah, man.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, for sure. Lot to look forward to. I am curious to see how the whole soft modding goes though, because it's like I always find that fascinating with like trying to manipulate consoles and like, do stuff with them, especially older ones. So you
Oh
got me
yeah.
hooked on that. I want to hear like how it turns out.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's like all the things you can do with the Xbox 360 where you can like connect it to your network, and if as long as you have like shareable videos or music on your overall network, you can play it on your 360.
Yeah,
Well, with like the soft mod, you can basically do that with the original Xbox. You can also run it as an emulator. You can like download loads and loads of games onto a hard drive. You can upgrade your hard drive, put like an SSD in there, make it faster.
dang.
I've seen a mod where this guy was selling it. He put in like an HDMI, like it's all soldered onto the board, an HDMI output, so it's like legacy proof with all the modern TVs, and also had like 2 terabytes of storage on an SSD, and it was like all all these games. I think he had the entire Xbox directory up there. I'm like, I don't even know what I would do. Like, that's way too many games.
That's
So
wild.
yeah, that's basically what I've been working on. Trying to get that to work. Been a bit of a pain, and I might cave soon and just like I'm trying to do it the old fashioned way with an old original Xbox cable, original Xbox memory card, and I'm looking at eBay, and it's like for $10 I can get a regular USB with an adapter cable that just plugs directly in the Xbox. And I might just do that if I can't get it to work.
Yeah, dude, I know that'd be so unfortunate if you had to go that route, but you know,
Yeah, I want to do everything old school, you know,
yeah. No, I
like in
feel that.
very
I feel that.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I'm using Action Replay. Do you know what Action Replay is? Do you know what Game Shark is? Do you know what either one of
Game
those are?
Shark, I know, yeah.
Okay, so Game Shark's like a legendary product.
Yeah.
Action Replay is basically the same thing, just not as big of a name.
Oh,
Game
okay.
Shark still
Gotcha.
exists, but most people remember Game Shark from like N64.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think probably where I've heard of it, like in 64
Yeah,
era, so
yeah,
it's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
yes, sir. Oh, got almost an announcement, but not ready for the pod yet. Just from my point of view, the Halo team, we got possibly some backing from an org that we're going to be representing. So
Let's go.
that should work for the boys, and hopefully we get an announcement coming out about who it is, what's going on, and how it ends up. You know?
That's awesome, dude. Let's go,
Yeah.
baby.
Let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
go. Awesome.
All right. But without further ado, I think we should actually get into the news of the week, fill everybody up to date about what's been happening. So, what do you
I
got for
agree.
us?
I agree. Well, we're gonna start off with some awesome news about the Switch. We got a lot of Switch stuff this week. Just letting y'all
I'm
know.
excited, man.
A lot of stuff went down. But what we're going to start off with is the Switch is becoming the third best-selling console ever. It was announced this week. PlayStation 2 is still the best, which, you know, rightfully so. It's PlayStation 2. Um, but it was said during the latest earnings call to investors that Nintendo revealed that its Switch game console sold 8.2 million units in the final 3 months of 2022, bringing the total
Sheesh.
number of Switch consoles sold to 122.55 million. That uptick slides the Switch, which launched in March 2020 or March 2017. It's like crazy. It's that long ago now. Almost 6 years. Jeez. Into the slot of the third best-selling game console in history. The two consoles ahead of it are the DS handheld at second place with 154 total units, 154 million total units sold, and then the PS2 at 155, just by a hair. It's not by. I'm surprised it's that close. Like I feel like the PS2 just like I feel like you know it was out forever and ever and ever. So
Yeah.
crazy. I mean the DS was like huge though, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. But this is the recent series of sales allowed it to surpass the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color, which together sold 118.69 million, and the PS4, which sold just over 117 million. So, pretty crazy stuff there. It says other than the PlayStation 4, the Switch is the only console in the top 5 that is still being manufactured, though PlayStation 4 production has slowed to a trickle and has reportedly only still been manufactured recently because Sony was having so much trouble meeting the demand for the PS5. But since PS5 supply seems to finally be meeting or exceeding demand in many regions, the PS4 surely has very little, if any, runway left at this stage. Yeah, which is see that part's interesting because yeah, it's like you know we're only what 6 years out, so and who knows when we'll get a Switch 2. So yeah, they're gonna. I mean, they're still going to be cranking for a little while there. Even when the next console comes out, they're probably still going to manufacture some. So I don't know. Do you think this has any potential to get close, if not exceed, the PS2 in sales?
Ooh, that's a tough one, right? Well, how long was the PlayStation 2 being manufactured? Like 10 years, right?
I
Something
think so.
crazy.
Yeah, that's something nuts. It's a long
And the
time.
Switch is maybe 4 years old,
Yeah, it was
right?
2020 March 2017. So I guess
Okay, so
next month it'll be what
yeah, that's
6 years? Yeah, I think my math's
yeah.
right.
So I think if they keep going for maybe another 2 years, it could happen.
Yeah.
Uh, they kind of had a Switch 2.0, right? They had like a version 1.5 with the upgraded
Yeah, with the
LEDs.
OLED. Yeah, I guess they had
Hmm.
to switch OLED. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
like that was I guess considered the mid cycle upgrade or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they do another one of those, it'll definitely surpass it. But I, it's kind of shocking that that's third, right? Because I mean, there's so many more so many more options, so much more variety. I think more people now like more than ever, are going away from consoles, going to PC gaming. So
Yeah,
some people don't really have the option to get more consoles, but that Switch only like what $300, $325, and they have the Switch Lite, which
yeah,
is cheaper.
yeah,
I think it could pass it.
yeah.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, I think it's certainly possible. I mean, the article does mention, it's a 6-year-old piece of tech, so it's definitely nowhere near technologically advanced as like the Series X and S and PS5,
Right.
which makes sense. So yeah, but I mean, it's so unique that it's still gonna stay selling, at least I think. So
For the
I suspect that it will be ongoing at least for another couple of years, I would say.
is the new Zelda game going to be launched on the Switch?
I think so. We may have more info
Yeah,
on that if we cover like the direct.
that's true. At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Nintendo Direct for today. Hopefully that's covered. I haven't had a chance to actually look at that article, I must admit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was caught up at work, so I was only hearing bits
we're
and
gonna all
pieces.
experience it
I got very
together.
high cliff notes, and that's about it.
Yeah, I will say that if it is launched on the Nintendo Switch, I think it's almost a guarantee that it might become the number one most selling console of all time. And it's barely even a console, I guess. Like even the Nintendo DS handheld, that's not really a console.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's a handheld,
It right.
which it's. I guess there's debate there for whether or not that's considered a console, but um, I don't know.
Did
I would
the
classify
Nintendo
it.
DS have a docking system like the Switch?
Not that I remember.
I don't think so.
Um,
Yeah,
so
they probably have one of those like DisplayPort stuff, kind of like plug in,
yeah, I don't know.
expand
They
it.
might have some way. I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, Switch is one of a kind, man.
it really is, and it's awesome. I
Yeah, it
love the
is.
Switch.
It's cool to hear, man. Yeah, dude, I love the Switch. It's a good console for good reasons. So I suspect it could get close, if not, the PS2. I feel like it's just such an iconic console.
It
It's like
is.
you're almost like, oh, like I mean, it's and don't get me wrong, Switch is iconic in its own right, but it's like but it's I mean it's so unique that it could surpass. I think, you know, it's is it restricted probably a little bit by the library? Maybe, but at the same time, it's already selling so well that it may not even affect it in terms of that. Like, I'm just not offering the same games like a PlayStation. But then again, Nintendo has
Well,
so many exclusives. Like,
I think what actually might pass it, and the reason why the sales are so high, I think Nintendo's been making more of a push to get other games from like other developers that would normally only be on Xbox and PlayStation onto the Switch, and they're using their cloud service to do that.
you know,
So if they can keep going that route, like didn't they just port the entire Resident Evil collection to
yeah, I
the
think
Switch?
so. Yeah,
Yeah, so that could be like a test run to possibly,
yeah.
who knows, we might have Halo on there soon.
It's the yeah.
Gears like
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, there's so many cloud ports now, and that's kind of the way Switch is having to go now since it just doesn't have the hardware. But
yeah.
because I'm trying to think on like a Switch 2, if they were to make another handheld, how much bulkier would it need to be to support like newer hardware? You know what I mean?
I don't think it needs to be that much bulky, like that much more bulky. Um, the Steam Deck is roughly the same size as the Switch. It has a nicer
Yeah.
OLED, and it can handle some pretty intense games.
Yeah, it's a good
So
point. Yeah.
I think it's possible. It's just a matter of how they design it and what they have to sacrifice to fit down in that small size.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. Um, yeah, yeah. The Steam Deck, it's probably a good use case that Nintendo could definitely do. Definitely make a better Switch, and maybe not have to sacrifice so much on the bigger form factor. But yeah, it's got me curious to see if they're going to do a Switch 2 or if they're gonna pivot again somehow, somewhere or another. But yeah,
They're
it's hard to
always
see.
innovating,
I mean,
so
that's the thing. Like, no
you
one
can't
was
predict what they're
suspecting the
gonna do.
Switch. It's like Nintendo's the one company you can never predict. I feel like so. Who knows what their next thing's gonna be? But I guarantee you, it's gonna be insane, probably. So, be
It's always
unbelievable.
innovative. Yeah, I think one of the
Yeah.
coolest things that Nintendo did recently was Mario Kart with the VR, like the headsets, and you can like actually control it, and you have a literal remote control car that's like going around your house.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember that racing
I
game?
think
That thing
so.
was
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. there's a couple of games that I recently saw that are rumored to be coming out soon that are doing the same thing. They have like little mini cameras above the RC cars, and they're all
Yeah.
racing like it's drones on it. It's kind of nuts.
That is crazy.
VR. Yeah,
Oh man, VR, dude. It's insane. It's freaking nuts. But yeah. But so
that's
is
a
the
fact.
Switch. Switch crazy
It,
console. Congrats to the Switch. Not
agreed.
I mean it's
Congratulations.
gonna keep getting its flowers, but you know, this is it's a good milestone.
I want the OLED one. I'm gonna wait for another update. I want a
Right.
4K screen, and then I'll be happy. That's pretty
That
much
yeah,
where I'm
that would
at.
be insane. Which
4K screen with the port, split
yeah,
port.
which logically I think would be the successor. That would be the next iteration, right? But then again, it's Nintendo, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're not really known
Mm,
for like groundbreaking graphics. They're more like
it's that
definitely
IP,
art.
bro. It's that
Yeah, it's
IP.
the
You know?
IP. We talk
Always.
about it so many times on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah. We don't
Big
have to
Nintendo
reiterate, but
stands.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. You know we are
All
gonna
right.
reiterate the next one though. Am I right, Mike?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it too. When this article came up, I was like, we're really about to talk about this almost every single episode, aren't we?
Maybe.
So we're episode 5 into the season. We started last season with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, and now we're going in. We even ended last season with it.
I
Now
feel
we're
like
going
yeah.
in again.
And again, this
So
is the second time.
we're just gonna keep going, and I think it's one of those ones that we kind of have to follow because it's such a big like event that's happening in the gaming space and worldwide, just in economics, all this other kind of stuff, culture even. But without further ado, this is an article from IGN by Ryan Dinsdale. It is titled "Microsoft and Activision Blizzard Respond to the UK Government's Concerns Over Xbox Activision Blizzard Deal." So, Microsoft and Activision have both responded to the competitions and market authorities' concerns over Xbox acquisition of Activision Blizzard, both insisting the deal will not be harmful to gamers. So, the UK government's CMAs published its provisional findings earlier today, February 8th, which raised concerns over the deal potentially leading to higher prices, fewer choices, and less innovation for gamers. Xbox exclusivity over Activision's premier franchise, Call of Duty, was frequently mentioned in the report, but Microsoft has maintained its desire to bring these games to other platforms. We are committed to offering effective and easily enforceable solutions that address the CMA's concerns, said the Microsoft corporate vice president and deputy general counsel Rima Alili. Alili, hopefully. They continued, our commitment to grant long-term 100% equal access to Call of Duty to Sony, Nintendo, Steam, and others preserves their deals benefit to gamers and developers and increases competition in the market. 75% of respondents to the CMA's public consultation agree that this deal is good for competition in UK gaming. The CMA said in the report that whole or partial Xbox exclusivity of Call of Duty could harm competition between Microsoft and Sony and also raise concerns over Xbox's prominence in cloud gaming gaining the extra boost. That's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Not just that they've been fighting over Call of Duty, but I think that Sony is too far behind on the matter of like they're too far behind on cloud gaming and their subscription service, and I think they're freaking out that once Microsoft or Xbox gets Activision Blizzard inherits their entire library, puts that in the Game Pass, is GG, man. They basically have access to all games if you just pay $10 a month on any device you have. $10 or $15 a month.
Yeah.
And that's really you can't really compete against that.
Yeah. It's hard to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean to your point, they're not in a position to really compete right now, which I think is why this is kind of getting pushed back. But I mean, but also, I mean, I think it's perfectly, fair that, for like Call of Duty at least. I mean, they're gonna be granting, full 10 years of parity to be like, hey, you guys can publish this. We won't. There's gonna be no benefits on our side. Like it's gonna be the same thing, kind of deal. And I mean, I think it's
Yep.
fair. That's pretty gracious. 10 years of 10 years on a huge IP like that. So, yeah, I mean, we see it. We continue to see how this shakes out, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. But I mean, I think I mean, I think if it goes through, it's not going to be the end for anybody necessarily. It's gonna,
No.
I think it'll be. I think everyone will end out okay. But if anything, it should push Sony to try and compete more. So at least I don't know. That's my opinion. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do something. I know that Microsoft basically reached out to Nintendo and said, "Hey, we'll give you access to the entire like Activision Blizzard IPs for the next 10 years." And Nintendo's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. We still got Mario." you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
And then like Sony's like, "No, we want Call of Duty." Because they've pretty much owned Call of Duty. They own the CDL. Like you have to play on
Yeah.
PlayStation consoles.
Yeah.
So
They did.
that's going to be a very interesting setup for how it pans out. I know that there are some rumors that I saw on the web. I didn't want to like quote and like I don't know, link them and go over the articles, but the rumors were that there's Microsoft executive level employees that are saying that they don't actually believe the acquisition is going to go through now after some of the comments from the CMA and what's going on in the UK and EU.
No.
So we'll see how it actually
Mm.
pans out, but a couple of things that would happen if this does go through, and just to remind people so they understand like the impact this could have is the main franchises that Microsoft will own would be Call of Duty, which is pretty obvious. Everybody knows that one. World of Warcraft is another big one. Then we get more into like there's Diablo, there's Overwatch that they would get, StarCraft, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I mean, that IP is coming back too
Yeah.
in a
No.
big way.
Oof.
Then you got Spyro, which is kind of wild because that used to be like the main platform was for Sony for Spyro.
Yeah. It
And
was,
it was
dude.
like that was basically their mascot for a while.
Yeah.
So for Microsoft to get that, that's kind of crazy. Then we got like Skylanders, Hearthstone, Guitar Hero. I haven't seen
Dude.
a Guitar Hero in a long
Yeah, in a
time,
long
but
time. There was
you know
actually
they would bring
rumors.
that back.
Yeah, there was like apparently like Epic Games or something was trying to reach out to Harmonix or whoever did Rock Band to be like, hey, we'd love to do we'd love to join forces and make another Rock Band or something like that. And so that was
Yeah,
like everyone was like freaking out, like, oh, is there another Rock Band coming? Lit. It'd be
Rock Band
sick.
in Unreal Engine 5.
Imagine. PSVR 2.
All right, I got a couple more here that they would get. They would get Crash Bandicoot again, another PlayStation like heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Um, and Candy Crush. Candy Crush is probably the bigger one.
Yeah. One of the biggest.
Uh, yep.
Easy.
And then oh yeah, we got Geometry Wars. Have you ever played Geometry Wars?
I used to love Geometry Wars. Yeah, I played it on the
Geometry Wars
360.
is the game, man.
Great. It's fun.
It's a good time.
The neon. The neon.
Yes, sir. So to remind people, it's like Activision Blizzard's being purchased by Microsoft for $68.7 billion. Maybe it goes through, maybe it doesn't. The UK or EU is going to end up ruling on what they believe should happen. And then ultimately, this is going to have to be reevaluated. Like that number, that 68 billion, is probably going to have to be renegotiated because it's been going on. Excuse me, it's been going on for so long.
Yeah. It's already been a year, dude. It's crazy.
It has. It's been over a year now since the
So
announcement.
wild. So
Sir,
insane. You want to talk about the next article, Mike?
I'm not sure. Should we?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, we got to talk about two things with it.
Yeah,
Like, go
we
ahead.
definitely
Go
do.
ahead.
Anyway, we'll go ahead. So, Hogwarts Legacy it topples Cyberpunk 2077 to smash the Twitch record, despite the controversy around it. Which I'm sure if you've at all followed, if you've at all perused Twitter, I'm sure at some point you've seen it. But Hogwarts Legacy has broken the record for viewership of a single player game on Twitch, despite significant debates about individuals' decisions over whether or not to broadcast the game. This is from Games Radar, by the way. Ali Jones reporting here. Last night the game peaked, and by last night, this was written 14 hours ago, so it was, I guess, Tuesday night this past week. The game peaked at 1.2 million viewers across all broadcasts, according to Twitch Tracker. That pushes it past the 1.14 million record that Cyberpunk 2077 set the days after it released on December 2020. Around the peak, almost 30,000 people were streaming the game on the platform. The game has made a significant push for Twitch audiences, and dedicated Hogwarts Legacy Twitch drops, likely increasing viewership. It says while viewership is a slightly nebulous metric, it's often used to evaluate the success of a game around launch, as well as the ongoing health of a live service game. At the time of writing, games like League of Legends, Valorant, Overwatch 2 sit close to Hogwarts Legacy in terms of viewership. The next single player game, a long way down the list, is Elden Ring. Elden Ring's out a year ago. That game's already a year old, Mike. It's just
It's
wild,
kind of
dude.
nuts.
Wild. But yeah, in terms of the backlash itself, it says the game started on Twitch is strong enough, but it's also been subject to a to fraught debate within the platform's audience. Some viewers have protested against individual streamers' decisions to play the game for their audience, leading to accusations of bullying and witch hunting, as well as more backlash within the wider community. And yeah, I mean, I don't think the article gets into too granular of detail about it. But yeah, I mean, if you lived on the internet, I'm sure you'd heard like J.K. Rowling's her stances on a lot of political issues and even just like social issues. So and I know that amongst other things have just caused people to be like, oh, you shouldn't play this game, you should protest it. And that ultimately goes back to the debate of, I guess, art versus the artist kind of thing. Like that's at least the common line that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but regardless of all that, the game seems to be actually pretty good, and at least from reviews I've been seeing, it's fun. It's actual good Harry Potter game, and we haven't had one in a long time. So I don't know, it gets me excited. I definitely want to check it out. I think I might end up picking it up and just giving it a play because it's a good single player game. I mean, I haven't had one in a while, so I think this might be it.
Yeah, I only really want to talk about like the game aspect of it and the viewership. And I think it's kind of everything I've seen. And I think the first gameplay I saw was from Jack Frags, and I think I sent you the YouTube video of it, right?
I think so. Yeah, you put in the group
Yeah,
chat.
Jack Frags is like the main guy that I go see for new games that come out because he always has like the highest end stuff, and he's just an overall good gamer, good commentary hater kind of thing. And what he was showing was just like it looked phenomenal. It looked like you're really in the world of Harry Potter and Hogwarts, and I thought it was really really cool that they were able to put that all together. I know one stick that the game always had was there was supposed to be multiplayer, and now there's not. So
Yeah,
that's like
yeah,
probably one of those. Yeah, that's probably one of those like big downfall, not downfall, like one of those things you can just kind of like do -1
yeah.
to it. Whereas
I,
if it
I
never
mean, yeah.
said that it was going to be multiplayer, then I wouldn't care. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I would say it's
it's
a letdown. Like, I mean,
yeah,
personally, it used to be.
y-
Um,
yeah. But everything I've seen, man, like the clips I've been seeing from some of the streamers just having fun,
yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see, like
yeah,
people having a good time.
yeah. I mean, after seeing all the reviews and hearing all the reviews, for a second, it made me kind of forget that. Oh yeah, it was supposed to be a multiplayer with this, and it's like I don't know if that's a
Yeah,
good or a bad thing. I mean, it's probably a good thing. But yeah, I mean, the fact that from what it sounds like, it's a nice, good standalone single player game. It's good to hear. So it's got me excited.
yeah. You know what's kind of crazy to think about too is, well, the IP of Harry Potter is going to be bigger than anything, right?
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
it's basically rivaling Star Wars at this point.
Yeah, for real.
Um, it's so big, but the when it comes to the viewership and the people that are watching, to think that like it passed Cyberpunk, a game that was hyped for like how long, like 6 or 7 years from like a really really well established um company and developer, and even in the time when it was released, December 2020, that's like right in the thick of it when everybody's at home not doing anything. So what are you doing? You're on Twitch, you're watching videos, you're looking for
Um,
stuff to do, you're playing games again, man. I know
yeah, you
so
are.
many people who got back into gaming during that period, and it got passed by a Harry Potter game. Now, the question is, let's not get into the controversy, but do you think that the controversy had any impact on the viewership? And do you think it was large, small?
No doubt in my mind, Mike. No doubt. I mean,
Do you think without the controversy, could it have passed Cyberpunk? Because Cyberpunk also had controversy. It didn't work.
yeah, yeah, it just didn't work.
So,
It's a
yeah.
bit different. But yeah, it's Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question of would it pass without it? I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, it's Harry Potter. I mean, I think regardless of
Yeah.
the views of whoever wrote it or whatever, like there's a lot of just Harry Potter fans out there. There's people that love that universe. Universal has an entire Harry Potter park thing. You know what I mean? So there's definitely people that just love it. So um, I think for sure, yeah, it's I think it could. It still has a pretty decent chance, probably surpassing that. I mean, now if the game sucked or the reviews kind of like just weren't like right, like if it came out like last week, like when all the reviewers started when embargo lifted and people were saying like, oh, this game like they got rid of multiplayer and they got rid of a huge aspect of the game and it still isn't that good. Like that really would have affected, I think, the viewership, um, probably more than anything. So the
Yeah.
fact that it's actually a solid game, I think, really helped it, and it's really got people interested, despite the controversy. I mean, sometimes I'm of the mindset, any like any publicity is good publicity kind of thing. So, I mean, I'm sure it helped a little
Marketing
bit.
101 right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it helped a little bit, right? But I mean, I think the fact that it's a good game is probably the most important thing, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do know there are some people that were streaming and they were actually like getting bullied off of their own streams.
Yeah, which is insane.
Uh,
Um,
Yeah, it's kind
yeah.
of wild. It it's hard to really know. Like it's so controversial, right? So I
I
don't
mean,
want to get
yeah,
into it.
it
That's
definitely is.
why, but
Um, yeah, without a
but
doubt.
it's a. I will say there's been a lot of work that went into this game, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like it looks incredible, and if you take out the controversy, it's like I kind of recommend it. Check
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I mean,
But
from what I'm seeing, it's got a lot of good reviews, and it's just all around a solid game. And I think the fact that so many people are giving it praise is a great sign, and just it's another reason to just give it a try. I think so. I gotta say,
yeah,
good on the devs. Good on the devs.
they released a game that works. It's crazy how that happens. You release a game that works, people tend to enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, it's true. It is very, very true.
All right, shall we move on to the next article?
I think
Good
so.
old Amazon Luna. Remember Amazon Luna? Did you ever
I
use
do.
Amazon Luna?
No, I did not. Can't say I did.
I tried it a couple of times.
No.
Um, it wasn't the best, to be
Oh
honest.
man, oh, no, dude.
I hate to say it out loud, but it's true.
Uh,
Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? This is an article from The Verge by Mitchell Clark, Mitchell Clark, who we've like covered his stuff several times. He covers a lot of like tech review kind of stuff. So
yeah.
this is obviously his wheelhouse. So Amazon's Luna streaming service has lost a lot of games recently. So, Luna, Amazon's cloud gaming service, is set to lose 53 games this month, including titles like Bridge Constructor Portal, No More Heroes, and classics like Pong and Missile Command, according to
Not the
9 to
classics.
5
Not the
Google.
not the classics.
These are some old
Oh
school hitters,
man.
man. Old school. So, Amazon previously told 9 to 5 Google that its goal for Luna has always been to keep our selection as fresh as possible and to offer a wide variety of high quality immersive games for our customers, and that is refreshing the services content with that in mind. So, it doesn't seem like the number of games on Luna can fluctuate a lot. It also dropped over 40 games in December. So currently, the Luna Plus subscription offers around 200 games, though the removals are set to happen at basically midnight, February 9th or February 8th, in that like in between 10th, 26th, and 27th. And in January, Game Rant listed that Luna Plus has around 190 games, which is up from approximately 140 from that list in November 2022. Though it's worth noting that in December, Amazon folded the separate Luna Retro and family subscriptions into Luna Plus. So those numbers are kind of not accurate. Even if there were no new games being added in February, the catalog dropped down to 150, and that still would be more than they were when Luna officially launched in March, which was around 130. So, what do you think? Is Luna on a downward trend? Do you think?
I mean, we saw Stadia, Mike. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, not to
that's a good
compare,
point.
not to try and compare, but you know, um, I mean, yeah, it's cloud streaming. I mean, it's hard when the infrastructure's not quite there yet, for a lot of things, and I mean, but you know, Amazon's one of the companies that has money to burn, so you know, give it a shot, of course. Um, but I mean, you know, it's my thing is, are they saying they want to keep the wide variety of games or whatever? Is that like an excuse because like it's a technical limitation, or is that an excuse? Is like, are they just saying that because they really just want to be like, you know, balls to the wall, let's try different things, kind of thing?
You know what I think it might be is like Amazon Luna is Amazon ultimately. So if you're on the Amazon site, they can kind of figure out what you're into, like your likes and your dislikes. So I bet having a wide variety really helps with targeting people, you know? Like if somebody has a really like I don't know, maybe let's say like there's a boxer or something like that and he always buys like training outfits for boxing and training like martial arts. It's like maybe let's have like an MMA game and just kind of pitch that every now and then to him, you know? And you can do that for the same thing. It's like, I don't know, single mom or like a family person, they have their own spending habits. There's a game for everybody out there, you know? So maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to do with having a wide variety. But I don't know, man. Like some of the games just on their directory, I'm scrolling through real quick. They got some old, like I won't lie to you, they're old and really heavy hitters. Like
Okay. Okay.
they got some Dirt 5, Dirt Rally on here. They got Control. I'm seeing let's see. Oh, I almost thought that was Kingdom Hearts. I was like, what? No, that's not. There's Martha is Dead, Hot Wheels. Like, there's a lot of racing games on here, surprisingly. Ghost Runner's on here. The one I just saw, Metro Exodus, which is a pretty intensive game. I'm pretty
Oh yeah.
surprised that's on cloud as well. And I mean, there's obviously options. It just really comes into who's using it, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
I've I've used it a few times. I don't really think it's hard to really enjoy cloud gaming like Luna or Google Stadia when the games look better on my console, you know?
Yeah, and see that's the other thing about it too, man. It's like when you go cloud streaming, it's like unless you have like a really good network and it's like, you know, you have a really good
Yeah.
machine, it's like I mean, it's just like there's probably going to be input lag to a certain extent. Even if it's like the connection's really good, it may even be noticeable for people still. I mean, I can't speak on it, of course, I never used it, but you know, just my experience with other cloud services, it's like, you know, um there's just some games you flat out can't play even if you're on a good network. So, it's yeah, I mean, it's hard to justify, especially when you already have like you have the hardware in your home. If you're like out and about or you're somewhere and you want to play, it's probably, you know, good enough. But yeah, it's like those weird kind of situations that I think are kind of can be kind of edge casey, so to speak, for some people. So yeah, it's just a weird spot, man. But yeah, I mean, just you know, it's like I mean, the fact that they're removing games like immediately to me is kind of just like makes me a little nervous
Yeah,
for Luna. But I mean,
it's
you know,
true.
I guess we'll see how it shapes out. Yeah.
I will say one of the problems that I have with Amazon and their gaming services right now, it's more of like a gripe towards Prime Gaming. They if you have Amazon Prime, which it seems like everybody in the world does now, you can get Amazon Prime Gaming, and it will come with like free games, and they rotate seasonally. So you can like download a game that you're interested in, you can keep it, and you can launch it later. Dude, the games launcher is trash. I hate it. It's wonky. Sometimes my games will just freeze, and it doesn't really feel good. But this Luna here is a 7-day trial, so I think if anybody just wants to try cloud gaming and you have Amazon Prime, you should give it a shot at least once or twice. If you
Yeah.
got I would always recommend if you got like the Xbox Game Pass, the Ultimate Game Pass, stream that before doing Luna. Just because Microsoft has way more of a selection of like heavy hitters, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense to me. Um, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. The competition's pretty steep, and with XCloud and Game Pass, it's like it's hard to get a competing library, I feel. If this deal goes through, Mike, could be over.
It's GG's.
Could be GG, dude. And for real. Could be GG.
I will
Just
say
don't
though,
know.
Amazon Luna, I just found something I'm interested in. Amazon Luna has Bee Simulator. Looks like you're a little not a bumblebee. This is definitely not a bumblebee. This is like a yellow jacket or something.
Nice. Load
Big
it up.
fan of like animal sims.
Load it up, dude.
Stray Cat Simulator, Goat Simulator. You know me and Maneater. Remember that sequence
Oh,
2 years
dude,
ago?
bro. This
Dude, I
guy was
was
a
so
man-eater goat
hyped.
right here.
I
Oh,
beat that game to 100%. Last game I beat to 100%. That was so much fun.
dude, that game looked
My
fun.
Tiger Shark is a freaking boss.
Dude, it was just so funny watching that game, bro. Oh, man. I loved
I
it.
can't wait to get back to it, man. I can't wait to get back to like single player games again.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
those streams were banger, Mike. Trying to see some
I had
more
so
single
much
player
fun.
streams out of the boy.
It was a good time. But that's basically the report on Amazon Luna. Let's see if it actually, I don't know, survives.
I hope so,
It's hard
man.
to tell, man. It's
I
hard to
mean,
tell.
after a year, I mean, Stadia was what, 3 years, I guess? Trying to think. It was 2019, so yeah, probably 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Amazon's canceled games before pretty quick, so who knows if they're gonna be willing to cancel a service quick if it doesn't work out.
It's a fact. Well, like before we leave this topic real quick in this article, there's one thing that we should actually mention. We're not totally down on Amazon Luna. It's just I think their directory, instead of just adding more and more games, is what Google Stadia always struggled with. There wasn't a lot of games there and
Yeah,
available. Amazon Luna is doing something different where they're like, it seems like they have the rights to games for certain periods, like a season. It's
yeah,
like for this season we'll have like these 130 games, and then for the next season they'll like throw out 20 and add like 30, or like
yeah.
throw out 30 add 20, and it's just I don't know. It's one of those ones where it's like if I'm a customer for Luna, I'm gonna want to make sure that I'm always watching the directory and seeing what comes and what's going. It's like they better be
Yeah,
very transparent. So
yeah, it's a good point. It's very true. I mean, I know if I was subscribing to something like this, I'd want variety every now and again. I'd want like a switch up. So, I mean, they do it right. It works in their favor for sure. So,
yeah, yeah, that's a
I'm,
fact.
I'm, I'm rooting for you, Luna. All right, you got this. I believe in you. Do we believe in Nintendo, Mike?
Dude, you know we're diehard
Oh, you already
Nintendo
know. You
fans.
already know.
I'm
Already know.
excited. Give me the breakdown, man.
Oh,
Give me the breakdown. I already
today.
see the first game, man. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
baby. Today was the Nintendo Direct for February of 2023. And we have an article going over everything that was announced. Saw some more Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
Saw Metroid Prime. We saw a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff to show. I mean, right off the bat, they they give like the big announcements or kind of the big, the big hitters of the showcase. We'll go through the list. Obviously, new trailer for Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild successor. There's even like a vehicle in it. I think it was very interesting. There was a lot of cool stuff to check out there. Yeah, that's I guess 2 minute. Oh, this is the official trailer. IGN baiting me, but anyway. But yeah, that was new stuff for that. Still coming out May 12th, 2023. No delays.
That's what we'd like to
Love
see.
to see that.
Hopefully it keeps it going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was also talked about it's going to retail for $70 or $69.99. There's a collector's edition too. That'll be $130. So it includes a physical version of the game, an art book, a steel bookcase, a steel poster of the I don't want to icon art. It's the icon art steel poster, and a set of 4-pin badges. There's also a Link amiibo. give you access to material and weapons, as well as a special fabric for Link's paraglider. Very interesting stuff there.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out for that. The other big announcement, Metroid Prime Remastered is being released today at the time. February 8th is when this direct happened. It is today. You can go and download the remastered Metroid Prime. Which is
Let's
pretty
go.
sick. So I love the same day drops. It's always dope. After years of rumors, Metroid Prime Remastered is real, and it's coming out today. Physical copies of the game are going to be available February 22nd, but you go to the shop now and get a digital copy if you like. Um, there's while there will be new dual stick controls in this remaster, there will also be an additional control option that will recreate the feel of the original game. Given the players options, we love to see that. Unfortunately, though, Mike, there's no mention of
Yes.
Metroid Prime 4 or remasters of 2 and 3. Hate to see that, but got something for the
It
Metroid
happens.
Prime lovers though. Um, yeah. Other than that, we had Pikmin 4. Release date was revealed for Pikmin 4. Um, the Pikmin 4 actually kicked off the Nintendo Direct. It said to give us a peaceful and beautiful look at the game's world and the creatures that inhabit it. It's set to release on the Switch July 21st of this year. Nice little summer release. I feel like we don't get too many summer releases. That's exciting.
We don't. We really don't.
Um, just alongside seeing the familiar Pikmin that will be helping us out on our journey, we also got a first look at a dog-like creature named Atachi Ochi. I don't know how to say that.
Tachiochi?
Ochi. I'm gonna say Ochi. Ochi will be helping us on our journeys. He can help with enemies, remove obstacles, and carry the player and Pikmin across water. So seems like there's a lot going on. I like this. But yeah, that's a nice little summer release there. This is kind of crazy too, Mike. This is a pretty big announcement.
I'm pretty excited about this.
The Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games will be available on Nintendo Switch Online today. That is right, another today drop there. Nintendo has confirmed that Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games will be headed to the Switch via Nintendo Switch Online later today, February 8th, at the time of the Direct. All Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have access to Game Boy games, while those with the expansion pack will get access to Game Boy Advance games. Game Boy games that will be available at launch: you got Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening DX. You got so many others: Metroid 2, Wario Land 3, Kirby's Dream Land. I mean, there's a lot just on launch. The games that will be These games can all be played with filters based on how the Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Color looked. I'd say I like that. You can actually play it like the old style.
Yeah.
And you can play locally or online with friends. There you go. Crazy. It's so insane. As far as Game Boy Advance games, some of them include Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. This is all across the launch here. We got Super Mario Bros. 3, one of my favorites. I played that game like crazy on my SP. It was insane.
Yeah.
WarioWare Inc. You got Mario Kart Super Circuit, which again another handheld Mario banger. You know what I'm saying? Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, a few others, and of course all these games will support local and online play with friends. More games will be added to the future as well. Nintendo gave a tease at some of them, including Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons and Ages, Pokemon trading card game, Kirby Tilt and Tumble. I love that.
Yeah.
Metroid Fusion, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, F-Zero Maximum Velocity, Golden Sun, Fire Emblem 2 is on there. A lot of stuff there. It's cool to finally see Game Boy get some love though on the backwards compatibility library they got. Very cool to see.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the biggest Nintendo Directs we've had in a long time. I think they basically they essentially saved up everything for February. They're like, all right, yeah, okay, cool. Here's everything you've ever wanted. And by the
New
way,
year?
half of it is due. Like you can have it right now,
Yeah.
today.
Dude,
No worries.
See, these are like banger day releases too. I feel like most of the you could play it today. It's kind of just like some indie game. It's like, okay, that's cool. It's a little thing. But this is like, these are some bangers. They're just throwbacks. Like it's just throwback galore today. It's always nice to see that. Also, if you have the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, Wave 4 is coming soon. I know we talked about that, and how they're structuring the DLC. They're doing it
so
kind
smart too.
Yeah, they're doing it like in waves. So the next wave of that's dropping very soon in spring. Splatoon 3 expansion pass. Are you kidding me? Here we are.
Splatoon has only been out for like 3 months, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Right? It has not been out long.
It's not been out long at all.
Since my last haircut, I think.
Yeah. I mean, first wave of DLC is spring
September 8th.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 8th. Yeah. So it's crazy. But yeah, the expansion pass. It's also going to take the Inklings back to Splatoon 1's Inkopolis. We're going back,
Oh.
maybe another throwback.
I love throwbacks.
Yeah, Nintendo's the goat at them apparently. But yeah, I mean, it's the first wave of DLC. Surely gonna get more. Everyone loves Splatoon. Everyone's been like raving about 3, so it's only right that it gets that DLC. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Volume 3 expansion pass. Little trailer for that. Says February 15th. It's actually when this will be available very soon. And it says later this year, Volume 4 of the expansion pass will arrive. And it'll contain a new story scenario for players to experience. So that should be a pretty big one. We have Fire Emblem Engage new DLC that was announced, new story DLC. It says it's. I'm noticing the trend here. Nintendo's always doing the waves of DLC. So it's like, first wave, second wave. Which it kind of it reminds me of the good old days of map packs and like Call of Duty games and stuff like that. The way DLC used to be. It's crazy.
It's like they had a roadmap for how they were gonna do stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they were building the DLCs while the game was finishing. So it always kept like people's structure with how they were doing things.
Yeah, for sure.
And man, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. Nintendo's doing it right. Disney Illusion Island is gonna bring some Disney magic to the Switch this July. I mean, I almost just want to play this. Am I gonna get an ad? I got an ad. But anyway, I want to see the art style.
You're gonna get an ad for every one of them, man.
See, this thing is the art style though looks insane for this game. So I wanted to showcase a little bit of that. And yeah, this is also another summer release, by the way, July 28th, the day after my birthday this year. This drops. But anyways,
27th. Let me mark that down.
See a little video here. The animation's very interesting. Honestly, like it. I mean, it looks like an amazing platformer. So, and we know Nintendo with their platformers, baby. You already know. But yeah, very exciting stuff there. It's It's a co-op platformer starring Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald Duck. What more could you ask for, Mike?
How did they even do that?
Yeah.
They got deals with Disney now.
Doesn't the art look sick though?
It does, man. It really does.
It's pretty
It looks
dope.
like so much fun. This looks perfect to have as like a proper console game, like sitting down next to your friends and playing it. And I'm all about wall jumping. Big fan.
Dude. Mike, picture it now. We could do like M2 gaming or whatever. Like M2, dude, this would be on the roster for sure. You kidding me?
Oh, guaranteed, yes.
Just sit down like every now and maybe like once a week, something like that. We just play a co-op game. I'll go crazy.
Yo, I could do that for sure. That'd be so much fun.
All right. He's like, this is like the prime candidate for something like that, I think.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's coming out. I thought it looked really sick. So I wanted to showcase that. Anyway, so a few more announcements. Sea of Stars got a release date and a demo. Upcoming RPG. It's going to serve as a prequel to The Messenger. It officially has a release date of August 29th. If the wait is too much to bear, though, a demo will be available later today of that game if you want to play it. Octopath Traveler 2 got a demo that's also available today. Go on the eShop and download it. That's going to be coming to Switch very soon, though, on February 24th. So just a couple of weeks away, but you can get it on demo on that. Bayonetta Origins, and they got a new gameplay trailer today. Yeah, that was like, I guess, like the prequel. I think we saw like a trailer for that. I think was it at the Game Awards? I feel like it was. It was like very recent.
Yes, it was.
So yeah. It's coming out March 17th. New trailer for that though. Dead Cells, Return to Castlevania gets a new look ahead of its March 6th release date. Fans will be able to return to Dead Cells on March 6th and find that it has been invaded by the world of Castlevania. DLC will bring new levels, music, characters, and more for the beloved Castlevania series. And Nintendo Direct gave us a new look at it. So, stuff there. I'm gonna butcher this name. Just gonna say it right now.
Give it your best shot.
Oh, all right. E-Train. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to sound it out like a 5-year-old. E-Train. A train?
I think
I don't know.
the Tron.
A Tron? I like the sound of
I don't know. Maybe.
that.
Maybe we're just overthinking it.
That's what I'm saying. See, this, ladies and gentlemen, is why, like, you'll know I didn't watch it because, like, stuff like this, I just like, I have no idea how they
They
suck.
gotcha.
Oh yeah. Anyways, um, these games will be released on Switch and Steam on June 1st. In a remastered collection. So it's an Origins collection. It brings the original 3 games of this Odyssey. Origins collection. So, stuff coming there. Samba de Amigo. Next game, that's Party Central, dude. Yeah. Oh man, it's Party Central. It's a rhythm game headed to the Switch, in summer of 2023. It's going to be up and dancing with your Joy-Con controllers. There'll be over 40 songs from a wide range of different genres, and this game will be the first one of a series since 2008. Isn't that crazy,
Whoa,
dude?
that is a long time ago.
14, 15 years. Yeah, it's wild. But hey, rhythm game. Hey, where my rhythm gamers at? You know what I'm saying? It's something to check out for sure. It's on the Switch. Yeah, it's summer this year. I said summer 23. No exact month yet on that. But yeah.
So they're pretty much like loads and loads of games that are either available right now or they're coming out in the next like 3 to 6 months for
No.
Nintendo.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's no like. Anyway, dude, it's because even Zelda, it's like 3 months. It's wild, dude.
Is this is this safe to assume like this might be the year for Nintendo?
It might be, dude. I ain't gonna cap. It might be. We Love Katamari re-roll Royal Riviera rolls on the Switch this June. The original We Love Katamari is getting a remastered treatment and will be released on Switch June 2nd, alongside everything, including the original game. Another remaster, maybe. Love to see that. Mega Strikers free-to-play online multiplayer soccer air hockey game. Mega Strikers is that it will be rolling out April 27th. 3v3, little 3v3 air hockey, Mike. I could
Wait,
go
hold
hard.
on. I might have to, dude. That could go way too hard. I gotta look into this because if you use the Joy Cons, I'm breaking them. Like it's a lock, dude.
Oh man.
Oh, a Mega Strikers is actually on Steam already.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, you know what? This actually like I pulled it up on Steam and remember Battle League whatever soccer that Nintendo Mario
Mario
Strikers.
Strikers, yeah.
Yeah, I was sorry. It's like Mario Strikers Battle League. Yeah, it kind of looks like that a little bit. It
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Uh,
so
Um,
I mean if all we need is what? 6 people? We need 4. Anybody interested?
who's interested? Join the Discord.
Join the Discord and add us.
All
I
right.
came here for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Anyways, I refreshed the article because actually when I opened this, it was still obviously it was all going on. It was still developing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few more. There's like trailers for a lot of the stuff now. A few more announcements as well. But yeah, there is a lot here.
Oh my gosh. Is that why I was scrolling down and it kept updating and flinging all over the
I
place while
guess
you were
so.
breaking down the article?
I guess so.
Yeah, they literally added trailers.
Yeah. Um, yeah, dude. Another one. Bat and Kados.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Kaidos?
maybe
Kaido? Maybe? No, no.
Kaidos.
It's got to be Kaidos because Kaidos would be KIA,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Sounds right.
Yes.
In
So that's
common English vernacular. Yeah, it sounds right.
the problem is Nintendo ain't English.
Very true. That's a solid point. Um, another remaster of the 1 and 2 of this series. It's 2 GameCube classics are coming out.
That's
So very exciting stuff there. Tron, Identity, a Tron game. When was the last time you heard about the Tron IP? Like,
actually recently, but that's only because I like watching movies.
makes sense.
So as I'm one of the abnormalities, I think.
Yeah. Tron Identity. It's a new narrative puzzle adventure game that is set in the world first seen in 1982's Tron film, as with many other Narrative games choice will be a big part of determining the outcome of the story. It's landing the Switch in April 2023. So if you like Tron, there you go. Just game around it.
Yeah.
Check it out. Professor Layton in the New World of Steam is the newest entry in the beloved series. Um, not too much about that. I guess it's just like an announcement trailer. It's a thing. Already talked about that. Life is Strange developer Don't Nod, one of my favorite developers personally. They announced Harmony: The Fall of Riviere, and I mean, dude, I love Don't Nod, so like I'm already intrigued, just like off the bat. But yeah, it's this is released in June. Challenge players, tough choices. But yeah, this is the latest game in that series, so I have to check that one out. Sounds interesting. Fantasy Life. Is it one? Is it a Roman numeral? Lowercase Roman numeral? Dare I say?
Probably. Well, yeah, probably. I don't think anybody would say Fantasy Life I,
Um,
right?
probably not. I
Must be
wouldn't
one.
think. Um, The Girl Who Steals Time features island building, time travel, and more. If you've been searching for another game in the vein of Animal Crossing, oh yeah, it does, just from the screenshot alone, it looks like Animal Crossing, like Final Fantasy. But yeah, that's it's set to be released this year. It's not much more than that, I guess. But yeah, already talked about that. Ghost Trick. Phantom Detective brings a murder mystery to Switch. Nice little murder mystery coming out in the summer. Okay. This was actually first released for the DS and PC in 2010 in Japan. It's actually heading to the Switch for a HD upgrade. So a little another throwback there. Mega Strikers free to play online. We already talked about that. Fashion Dreamer encourages players to show off their style. Another little game coming out in 2023. I mean, the rest of these are, yeah, I guess that was it. Really just that and a couple
There's
others.
so
But
many
yeah,
coming out. It's like it's wild.
it was
What
a
do you think is
huge
your
one. It was a huge one.
what do you think is your favorite? I mean,
I mean,
okay, what do you think your second favorite is? Because we know the first favorite's Legend of Zelda: Tears of the
oh
Kingdom.
man. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure because we have Metroid Prime is a remaster. I kind of don't want to say that because like we've already seen it. Um,
But it's been so long since we had a Metroid Prime game.
it's true. It's true.
I, dude, it's been
Um,
so long. Like it's been so long to the point that I think that people don't know that Samus is a woman. Like,
oh, yeah.
there's like a whole generation of gamers now that have probably never played Metroid Prime or Metroid in general. Gotta be.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Um, yeah, I mean Pikmin 4. I mean, next entry in the Pikmin series is exciting for me. I think. That's definitely on my list. I mean, all the rest of the stuff I think was like expansions and little things. So I mean, dude, Disney Illusion though, and that's pretty sick. Can't lie. And that's a nice little co-op platformer. So I don't know. Those are probably up there for me. What about you, Mike? What's your what's hitting for you?
Well, I'm looking forward to the DLCs. I think that's pretty cool that they're constantly adding more DLCs, especially Mario Kart. Something like Splatoon 3 already getting something planned is awesome. I like the idea of Disney collaborating with Nintendo and that graphic design. That's probably going to be the main game that you and I should get on and play. I think that'd be a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
for
Kind of
sure.
reminds me of like Kingdom Hearts almost. It's like all the Disney characters running through and trying to get like through a level and you get to play as them. That's kind of cool. Uh,
Yeah.
I like seeing Metroid Prime getting some more love. I know there was Metroid Dread only a few years ago, but I don't feel like it was wildly popular, you know?
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you, I think. I don't know if it really hit, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the main one is like it's gotta be Legend of Zelda. Like,
Yeah. Dude, I mean,
yeah.
it's gonna be such a big game, you know? It's kind of hard to
Yeah.
not put that on the list, like high up on
You,
the list.
you know what I think is gonna happen? I'm calling it now, and we're gonna come back to this. Okay.
Okay.
So this Legend of Zelda releases, where is it? May 12th, 2023. As of today, we just found out that the most watched concurrent viewers on Twitch for a single video game was Hogwarts Legacy. I am going to say
Oh,
that Legend of Zelda is gonna top it. It's gonna top it. It's gonna
Clip it.
top
Clip it.
1.25 million viewers. It's gonna go
Clip it.
above that. Guaranteed, man.
Clip it. I
Lock
like
it.
it. I like it. Lock it in.
Lock it. Lock in your bets.
Episode 5 reference back. We're gonna check back in
So-
May.
make the editorial notes now.
All right.
Get it ready.
Oh man.
What do you think? Do you think that's a safe bet? Am I out of line?
I mean, no,
What do you
you're
think?
not out of line. I think it's gonna be a big game. I think. Certainly wouldn't surprise me, and certainly streaming is a lot bigger than when the first game came out. You know what I mean? So
That's a fact.
it would not surprise me.
And what people don't realize is the last Breath of the Wild, that is regarded as better than Ocarina of Time. And that game is arguably the greatest game of all time. So
Absolute banger.
I'm just saying. There's gonna be a lot of hype behind Tears of the Kingdom. And I think Nintendo's gonna deliver. I mean, they're not gonna launch a broken Zelda game, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. I mean, nah.
No shot.
Don't. Why would you
Like,
even say
no
that?
shot,
Nah,
right?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
If they do, I mean, I give up on everything we're trying to do here at the podcast because, like, gaming's done. We gotta lock it up. Like, that's
Gaming's
it.
done.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
dude.
like, how do you mess that up? You know?
Oh, dude. I have faith in Nintendo. All right. They had a bang on the first one. They have to know what they're doing, right?
They don't miss, man.
They
They've been in the zone since Super Nintendo, man. They just
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros came out and they're just like, GG, we own the space now. Like, we own your living room.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Nintendo in your living room and you call yourself a gamer, you're a liar. And I'm sorry. That's just the reality of the situation.
I mean, he said it, not me. You know, that's all I'm saying.
We're trying to be controversial. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, go to the comments section and tell me what you didn't like what I said.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good to see the direct though. I think overall it was one of the better ones we've gotten in a while. So love seeing that.
Yeah. The last 2 directs weren't that big. They were just kind of like little small keynotes here and there. I think November had a good banger, a couple of good bangers. That was mostly the cloud Nintendo Direct, like talking about all the different cloud games that were going to be coming over. And this is good to see, like the new IPs and added content, DLC. Like, this is sick, man. It's sick. It's good to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Way more
Oh.
positive than the
Oh,
last
dude.
episode.
Yeah,
The
you're saying,
last episode
man.
was sad.
Oh yeah, that last episode was a downer, but we hit you right back with an upper. So you
Yes,
know.
sir. Downers and
Had to.
uppers. Let's go.
Oh man, oh Mike, what a time to be alive,
All right,
you know.
buddy.
What a time to
That's
be
a
alive.
fact. That's a
Oh.
fact. All right. Do we have anything else for the people to recap this week?
Dude, I don't think so, man. Also, public service announcement. When we post this episode tonight is Last of Us, the next Last of Us episode, because you know
Oh,
they don't
yeah,
want
good
to
point.
conflict with the Super Bowl. So make sure you check out the episode tonight. Don't have to wait
Yep.
till Sunday this week. So exciting stuff there.
And if you haven't already, I think HBO Max might be doing a trial.
I think so.
right?
I think I heard something like that.
I
We're
think
doing
they're
like
doing
that.
a trial. So if I think this is one of those like cultural phenomenons, cultural events where it might be worth getting involved in. You
Might
know,
be,
like
dude.
pop culture. Like, you gotta stay with
Yeah.
the times, man. Get the trial.
Oh,
Wait
yeah.
until the end of the season if you can, but you're gonna get stuff spoiled. You know,
Yeah, that's the
end of
thing.
the season, you get the trial, you watch everything all at once.
See, I feel like we're almost at the halfway point of that first season already too. It's like I think it's like middle of March or something. Is when the last episode is. I mean, we're almost hitting that halfway point already.
Yeah,
but dude, it's a solid show. It's a solid show, and I'm hooked. So
they're doing the game justice. They've branched off in a couple of different story arcs, but everything is right on path. The theme is correct. The play, like, to me, everything seems spot on and
Dude,
it's enjoyable.
they've had good deviations though. I think they've done
Yes,
they've done stuff that
they've
fits.
added.
Yeah, they've done stuff that makes it a TV show, like makes it a good TV show rather than just trying to fully stick to source material, which is like the way you should do it. Because like if you can
100%.
deviate or you can add on like extra like lore and stuff like that, it's the opportunity to do it in a show like this. So Resident Evil, take some notes. I'll just say that.
Halo, take some notes.
Halo takes
please.
Oh, dude.
Oh my gosh, that don't even get me started on video game adaptations or cartoon adaptations to live action. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Good.
god.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Mm,
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let people go. I know we're getting over that hour mark.
yeah, we
So
are.
without further ado, we do have links in the description of every single episode, wherever you're listening from. We're on all platforms. If you want to see all the references, all the citations where we're getting the articles from, links are below. We have little bit links, so just click on those little guys, and they'll send you right to the article, the sources, everything. If you want to contact us directly, probably two ways to do it. Follow us on the Twitter space, and we also have the M2 podcast Twitter, M2 underscore podcast, and join the Discord. DM us, say what's up. Also, we're
Sir,
on like YouTube. You probably might be watching this on YouTube. Like,
you might be.
subscribe, comment,
Who knows?
say something.
If you're on Spotify, dude, hide from the music app. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Say what's up. All right. Well, without further ado, my name is Michael Anthony. My other co-host over here is Mr. J.K. Heath, KyleHeath, and I love introducing him and talking about him like that. So we're gonna let you go. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Peace out.
Bye.
See you. Have a good one. Catch you next week.